Some experts are predicting the re-emergence of coal as a major power source, but that's unlikely. Coal may be driving China's economic boom, but it emits far more greenhouse gases than any other power source. Some politicians and industry leaders are placing their faith in renewables, such as sun, wind and wave power. These emit far less greenhouse gases than either nuclear power or oil, and they have the added benefit of offering unlimited supplies, at least in theory. The challenge will be to get them to produce enough energy quickly to meet the demand. Meanwhile, some chemists are looking at ways to recycle carbon dioxide. The very chemicals that today cause global warming might one day be turned into useful fuels. For the automotive industry, the number one renewable is hydrogen. It can be turned into electricity in such a way that the only waste product is steam. Now that sounds great, but the technology may be too expensive for the mass market. Meantime, many designers have turned their attention to hybrids, which are powered by a combination of traditional engines and electric motors. Others have launched programs built around biodiesel, which uses natural crops to provide the raw material for fuels. Scientists have already begun to map the genetic code of trees, so it might not be long before crops are fine-tuned for fuel production. Sadly, biofuels are not very efficient, and producing them eats up another valuable resource, land. On the national scale, wind power may yet become a major player. Wind power has been used for centuries, of course, to drive machines, but modern technology means that it can be used to produce electricity. The world leaders in this area are the Danes, with 23% of their electricity coming from wind turbines. I was an architecture student in the late 1970s, and I remember well when solar power was just beginning to emerge as a serious energy technology. Today, its benefits are well known, and its applications range from energizing space satellites to powering entire electricity grids. But the downside of solar is that it's expensive. And of course it relies on sunshine, which isn't available every hour of every day. Providing an entire city's power supply using wind or solar power may require more turbines and panels than we have either the space or patience to build. But a growing number of people are pulling the plug altogether and turning to their own renewable power supplies. In the United States, 185,000 households have already made a switch from power companies to their own power supplies. In some cases, they're even selling their excess electricity back to the power companies. The debate continues to rage about which technologies will really meet the need for renewable energy. But one thing is certain, our lifestyles will have to change over the next decade or so. We're already being told we need to become carbon neutral in our homes. And some ecologists are now predicting that within a few years we'll know as much about our carbon footprint, the amount of carbon dioxide we emit into the atmosphere, as we do about our bank accounts. If you live in a city, and a growing number of us do, your life will change in other ways as well. Cities don't exist in a vacuum. They rely on the agriculture that supports them and on the precious resources of clean air and water. Urban ecologists are calling for what they call eco-cities, sustainable communities that combine economic growth with ecological responsibility. In future, cities will need to grow more of their own food, and they'll need to feature more of what's called industrial ecology, where products or machines are built so that at the end of their lives they can be taken apart and recycled. Some architects are already using this approach, designing buildings for deconstruction and not just destruction. Cities will also need to be better planned with less sprawl so that we rely less on transportation.